Good morning, welcome to the Monday Motivator. My name's Jilly and I'm probably the person who's been told most in the UK that I need some motivation, help me, especially when it comes to getting fit, losing weight, staying on track. So I'm here to give you a little bit of motivation. In fact, I say I'm here to give you a little bit of motivation, but that's actually impossible because only you can give yourself the motivation. I can just maybe open up your thinking a little bit, get you thinking about what you're doing and bring it into your conscious mind about what you're doing, because the problem is it's often not a lack of motivation, it's difficult to do something different. It's difficult because things become a habit, you get used to them, and when they become a habit they're really easy. For instance, sitting like this. Okay, let's try that for a moment. Sit with your, how you usually would. Hands in front of you. Feels fine? Yeah, probably feels okay. Now change over the hands, so put the other thumb on top. How's that feel? Probably pretty weird, isn't it? Yeah, feels pretty weird. That's how it feels often when you make a change in your life. It feels different, feels difficult, feels a bit weird, doesn't quite feel right. It's like when you buy a new pair of slippers and you're still wearing them in. That's what the process of change is all about, and that can be the same with motivation. Something's got to change. Last week we talked about your thinking changing, but you've actually got to change what you do. You need to change your behaviour, and that comes right back to a decision as to what's important to you, what's the most important thing to you. When a lot of people leave the weight loss camp, they may be full of motivation. They've got the motivation when they're there, but they get back on the treadmill of life and it's not that easy. And it's not that easy because they've just started putting other things first again. So that meeting at work, it's staying late at work, that television programme that's become a habit that you watch, or that extra hour in bed, that's become more important to you. You'd forgotten why you'd done it, you'd forgotten why it was important to you. And so for you to be motivated to do something different, you've got to remind yourself of why you're doing it every single day, every single step of the way. The minute you wake up, you've got to think, right, I'm doing this because of this. This is why I'm doing it. This is important to me because it's got to be right up there as top of your priority list. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. I get people say all the time, but I've not got the time, this happened, that happened, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Simple thing is, you've got to make the time. Johnny Depp's coming round to tea. You wouldn't be saying, well, I'm sorry, I'm a bit busy at the moment doing this or doing that. You'd be there, wouldn't you? Well, let's face it, we all would. So we'll all be coming round to your house. So you've got to make time for this, and it's probably the most important investment that you could ever make, is that investment in yourself, your investment in your own health and well-being. So make time for it, make that decision to make time for it, and remind yourself all this week why it's important to you. Maybe write in a little post-it note or a postcard, stick it up somewhere, you see it first thing in the morning, just as a little reminder. This is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it. Get your ass out of bed and do it. I hope that's helped. Next week we're going to be talking about using that compelling reason, what your compelling reason is, and we're going to be motivating you a little bit more, but in the meantime, have a great week. Enjoy.